Good morning, ACC. I'm Mahesh. I'm one of the fellows at the University of Minnesota. And this is Janani, one of the residents
at Creighton University.
Okay. And we are interviewing Dr. Ritu Thamman, and she's a faculty at University of Pittsburgh. And she's also a writer, so we're going to ask her some advice for fellows at the ACC here. Dr. Thamman, how are you doing today?
Very good. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. You look perfect.
Thank you.
So what would be your advice for fellows at this point who are coming to ACC to trying to establish a career?
I would say there's so many different tracks, and now we have 10 different pathways. So if there's an area that you really love, make sure you try to go to those sessions. Like for myself, I love imaging and I'm an imager, so I try to go to as many of those sessions. Of course, there is a lot of overlap, and it's also very exciting to go to the late-breaking trials, which are usually right in the morning, 8 a.m., so you can get that out of the way first thing, and then during the rest of the day, go to sessions. And if they seem really interesting, then you stay. Otherwise, you always have so many choices to go elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And of course, the more you come, the more people you get to know, and then sometimes you might be walking to a session and you might find somebody you know on Twitter or someone you know from your school, and you start talking, and then...
Oh, that's great.
So, what session did you enjoy most in the last couple days?
I must say I do have my biases, because I am also very much a lover of echocardiography and very active in the American Society of Echo, and there was a joint session between the ACC and the ASC, and there were fantastic presentations. It was presided by Dr. Swaminathan, who's the incoming president of ASC, and Vera Ragolin, who's the past president. And the sessions were remarkable for such a quick overview, but beautiful images, which I love. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
So, we know you're an author, and you're in clinical practice, and you're recently in academic medicine as well. So how do you manage to do everything?
Well, I think there's some luck involved with that. I have a very supportive husband who enables me to have a very wide and brilliant career, and it's come in phases. I've not had everything all at the same time. And now that our family, our daughter is older, she's in high school, it makes some more time to do work even in the evening, because she's doing homework, so it's fine. You can write your papers and you can be much more active even during the day. So that there's a timing factor. And so there's luck and there's timing and a good spouse. I think choose wisely your spouse. I would say that is the paramount importance, because that person is going to support you for your career at every stage.
That's great. What changes do you see in ACC 2019 compared to the previous years, especially with reference to women in cardiology?
I feel that the ACC has grown tremendously. Certainly the membership has doubled in the time that I've been coming to the ACC, and it feels more international to me when I come here. And now that I'm part of the leadership of WIC and more involved with that, I also see how much more support there is for women, which is more relatively a newer phenomenon. It was certainly not the case like this 10 years ago. Even 5 years ago, it was more of a quieter scene. And I'm so grateful for that. And I hope that that's a palpable thing that all fellows can feel. And especially someone like yourself who's aspiring to go into cardiology, we want to make it feel like, yes, it's competitive, yes, it's hard work, but that there is, A, there's a need, and B, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like when you are out and you decide you want to have a family and you might want to be having some flexibility, you can do that, but that doesn't mean you have to give up your passions. They might be temporarily put aside they don't disappear. They never die off. So you can always resurrect them when the time is right.
Thank you so much for organizing the Women in Cardiology events and making us feel more welcome and more included in these events.
It's very important. I'm very happy that you feel that way.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted, just doing this. And don't let anyone say, yes, certainly, having a husband who is a cardiologist who's very busy. I'm married to a surgeon. And we went through training together. Yes, it was hard. Sometimes the only time I would see him was on call. That's how I would get to spend time with him in the call room. And his beeper's going off and my beeper's going off. And it was like no sleep for any of us. That was our romance, the height of our romance, you know. But, you know, those chimes also change. You know, you can go through those difficult moments. But ultimately, cardiology is such a wide field, and there's such a need for women cardiologists to do this that I feel that it would be worth the upfront sacrifices that you would have to make, because your career has a long trajectory. It is not just my training time. You know, I'm so far out of my training, and it keeps evolving into whatever, you know, wherever your passions are going to lead you to. So, so
fantastic advice. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today in ACC here, Dr. Thamman. And for more videos like this, follow us on youtube.com/FITsontheGo. Thank you, and thank you for joining us again.
thank you.